Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for educations and technology only. So in the past few days, I got a lot of messages from a Wing Chun friend worldwide. Asked me to give my opinion on the same video link. And the video link is quoting the Chinese, saying that here on the traditional Chinese martial art practitioner should not call themselves Kung Fu Master or Kung Fu Sifu. So there's the link. I'm sure that you guys have seen these kinds of link. So my opinion on this thing, not call yourself Sifu, I say it is very tough, because the Chinese martial art today in Asia or in the Western world, it has become some kind of religion type of things. It have already break away from what traditional Chinese martial art is. And today everybody is Sifu. This is not my view. Only me have this view. In fact, there are many teachers in martial art, Chinese martial art in Asia, in China, told me the same thing. And they want reform. Okay? A common thing today people use to describe this type of situations is, in Cantonese, 有傳承冇正統. 有傳承 meaning that there is a lineage, but there is no authentic teaching. So example is, I say my Sifu is so and so. And then my student will say his Sifu is so and so and his grandmaster is so and so. But nobody knows that, whether there's a teaching there or not. You look at one set, like practicing a one set, you can have 10 types of different way of practicing. And everybody have their own interpretations. So there is 有傳承冇正宗. Okay? Nobody knows what it is. You say, well, I learned from this guy, I learned from this guy, I learned from this grandmaster. But nobody knows what the heck is that set is for. Okay? So it is pretty hopeless to just say, hey, don't call yourself master, because the root of education is very problematic now. Now, speaking of this, it's just recently in Asia, in a forum, I faced the following two experiences. So I share with you, okay, to see what's wrong with it. The first thing is this. There's this Wing Chun, a type of Wing Chun in Asia. So, they have their form, their set, and so forth. And they are using these techniques, okay, as they call it crane techniques. Well, is this crane techniques? Well, sorry, this is not crane techniques. This is Choi Lei Fat. Choi Lei Fat. If you look at the Hong Sing Choi Lei Fat, the beginning salutation, 大鵬整益. 大鵬展翼. Okay? So, I pointed it out, say this is Choi Lei Fat's 大鵬整翼. This is not some kind of crane techniques. Okay? Well, how is a Choi Lei Fat salutations move get into a Wing Chun set and call it Wing Chun? Well, of course, Then you have this young guy who right away tried to attack me. First, he said that I don't know how to read Chinese. So they get this Baidu, the Chinese Baidu engine, to explain to me what's Wing Chun. Okay? Is this a hopeless case? Yes, of course. What is this young guy know anyway? What is Sifu know anyway? You know, it is really bad when you take somebody's style, put it in your set, and you make believe that it is like yours. And then when people found out, you say, oh, you know, Kung Fu have a lot of similarity. What Kung Fu have a lot of similarity? This is the Choi Lei Fat Bai Pang Jin Yek. Okay? That's their salutation. That's their trademark. In other words, if you want to use today's language. So if you have this type of Sifu teach this type of student, and this type of student try to act like he know everything, it is hopeless case. The second case is, I was in a forum, Chinese martial art forums. I'm talking about the difference between leg strength and Jing, or the strength with the directions. And this old guy come up, supposed to be Sifu, come up. Oh, the northern people using the term Jing, the southern people don't use Jing. Are you serious? Do I care for this kind of old Sifu? You know, people need to learn. If you don't know that thing, shut up. Okay? The Wing Chun Jing and leg is recorded in 1850s. In fact, the term Jing, which is the Wing Chun inherited, is inherited from Mei Zhuang, which is from Song Dynasty. Sun Punch is called Ban Yin Yang Jing. Ban Yin Yang meaning half yin and yang. So in other words, when you do a Sun Punch, you are using half of the yin and half of the yang. This is called half yin yang jing. So the Wing Chun is very particular, very detailed. That's why the Wing Chun call itself in the ancient Dim Dim Cheng. Every point has to be clean and clear. This is Ban Yin Yang Jing, meaning that you are going to apply this part or use this part of meridians and this part of the meridians. Okay, those who read my book, Wing Chun Inception, chapter 8 under synchronization, you see all this meridian, how everything with the breathing synchronized. This is called Ban Yin Yang Jing. This is called San Yin Jing. The force with directions traveling or using the 3 yin channels or 3 yin meridians. That's Wing Chun. Your Jing Jiong, that is what it is. Your Biuji, the same thing, is Ban Yin is San Yin Jing, the 3 yin meridians force with the directions, and it penetrates to the fingers. So the Jing Jiong is it go up to the palm and it go up. The force, the strength, the Biuji is going down there. Okay? So one cannot be really generalized. Oh, the Chinese, the southern Chinese is calling Lik. The northern Chinese is calling Jing. Not to mention, have you studied Wing Chun? Do you know what the heck you're talking about? So with this 2 type of stuff, the young generations will have no idea what it is, just being like try to play expert on things he have no idea at all. Technically, if it is in today's mainstream academic, you writing a paper, you take somebody's information there without giving credit, you're in serious problem. Okay? The second thing is, if you have no idea of Wing Chun, shut the mouth up. You're just creating more problem because people will say, oh, that old Sifu say that. Okay? So with all of this exists today, even this past few days, it is a hopeless situation. That's why I follow many traditional Chinese martial art teachers today, saying that it's better to start a new educational platform in the West. There's too much thing there to be correct. When you have things which is pretty messed up, distorted, you better start a new one, new platform. Okay? Now, let me share with you today. This is Wing Chun's Biuji. This is Wing Chun Biuji. What is this Wing Chun Biuji? What is the difference between the Wing Chun Biuji, like for example the other Southern Canton, Southern Chinese martial art Biuji? What is the difference? Well, we need to know the difference between the Wing Chun Biuji and the Southern martial art, Chinese martial art Biuji, right? Otherwise, what are you going to develop? Well, somebody will say, oh, the Wing Chun Biuji is soft, and the other Biuji is hard. Soft meaning yao, and then the other Biuji is hard, meaning gong. Well, tell me, what is that? Gong and yao, all this kind of thing. It doesn't tell me anything at all. So if we don't know that, how are we going to supposed to develop that? So today I want to share with you scientifically what it is. Please watch my other video, my recent video on strength and breathing, okay? So this, whatever the information now is on top of that. You need that prerequisites. So in today's strength practice, strength training, today's strength training, scientific, sports science, strength training, today's language, the other Southern Chinese martial art Biuji is using the strength of 70–80% when they strike up. That's how they develop this Biuji, and that's how they train it. Wing Chun. Remember we talked about the 3 yin flow? Wing Chun is using only 30% of strength to do this. So Wing Chun Biuji is like that. Using this side, and it's 30%. So it be able to do this next leg. Okay? Instead of 70%, you poke, like you're lifting weight, you lift 70% of your strength capability, lift it up. And versus is you just lifting 30% of the strength weight you according to your maximum weight, and then you be able to play. So this is 2 things. So the Southern Biuji, Southern Chinese martial art Biuji in general is this, and the Wing Chun is 30%. That's how they develop it. Okay. Now, thus using 70% or 80% with one strike is named as what? Hard style. 30% slide out, glide out. That is called soft style, yao. So this is the yao training. Yao, soft way of training and development. This is the hard way. And of course, when you strike in the fight, you go full force. But this is how you train and how you handle. So your body if you train this way, in the soft way, it will handle like a snake. This is not like a snake. Well, this is still shooting, but it shoot like a snake. This is not. This is like more poking or stuck into it. Okay? So, the southern, it goes straight. The Wing Chun, you see the force is there. Okay? So that is the difference. Now if you don't know this, how the world we going to develop it? Are we going to call it Biuji, oh, Wing Chun Biuji is soft. But then you're doing the same thing as other people. And then you say, well, I'm a Sifu. What Sifu is that? We don't even know what the ancestor of Wing Chun talking about. We don't know what today's sports science is talking about. So there's different type of building strength. One is you use 80%, less repetition. One is using full strength, like 80%, 70% of strength. You do less repetitions. One is using 30%, less type of strength. You do many repetitions. That is how the Gong Yao in the Cantonese or Gang Rou in Chinese development. So Wing Chun is a soft art because it's using 30% to train, but you need to do more repetition than the guy who do 70% to develop that strength, to condition the body, because you need the body, the muscle. So again, one is using 70%, 80% to condition the muscles, the bone structure and so forth. Another one is using 30% to conditions, but more repetitions. Okay? Without this, you have no idea how to train, how to develop things. Thing must not be doing the same thing but different labels, stem different label. So, for example, the Honga iron wire sets. If you do the same with the iron wire set, don't call yourself Wing Chun Biuji. You are not. And the Honga guy, when they found out that you are taking the Honga's iron wire set way to train your Shu Lim Tao or your Biuji, they know. It's just like the Chai Fat expert will see that this is Tai Pang Jin Yek. This is not Wing Chun. Okay? So again, when you do Shu Lim Tao, you have to watch out now. Are you using the 80%? Call it dynamic tension or anything, or using the 30%, which is the Wing Chun Shu Lim Tao is about, the soft way. And because of the soft way, you'll be able to handle this body differently compared with the hard way. Nothing is right or wrong, it's just different. The guy can train you with 70% of the strength, building their muscle. The guy can train with a 30% more repetition to building their muscle. This is the difference. And of course the body characteristic will be different. The handling will be different. So this is what I'd like to share with you today. You need an education. And with today's, all these seafoods running around the world, in my opinion, it is hopeless. That's why I agree with many of the Chinese martial art expert, teacher, real Sifu, in Asia, it's better to start a completely new thing with the proper education in the West. Because the old system is too screwed up. It's time to drop it. You cannot save it. If you want to save it, make correction, you're going to end up wasting more time and you still not be able to do anything. Why you just go start a new one, put all the effort, make sure more people know the proper way. That is the more effective way, efficient way, and beneficial way for the ancient Chinese ancestor and the practitioner of Chinese martial arts. And not dealing with this, like this young guy who tried to using this Wikipedia to argue with me and say, well, you don't know Chinese. Or this old guy who said, oh, you know, this is the Chinese way. For me, the bottom line is this. If it is not based on the ancient evidence, if it cannot be mapped into the sport science, not talking about it, don't talk about it. Why? If not from the evidence from the ancient, then who create this thing? It's like, this is Hongga iron wire sets. You must not use it in the Xiulin Tao. This is Choi Lei Fat. You must not use it in the Xiulin Tao. Or your Wing Chun set. If you want to use it, give credit. If it cannot map into the sport science, you cannot be everyday mind power while you never develop the strength. And you don't know how this strength is developed. It's 80% or 30%. And you don't know how the breath has to be synchronized and all this, the 3 yin, jing, the half yin yang jing. How can you develop things? You have no handles of all these things. So this is to share with you. I know many people might not like this, but hey, if you think about the ancestor, didn't we all say, hey, you know, we're loyal to our ancestor? If we think about the young generation, few generations, didn't in Chinese Kung Fu we say, well, you always have to take care of your young generations or future generations? If you think that, then you know what should be done. Unless you say, well, I want to be Sifu. Then there's your problem, okay?